Steam engines are external combustion engines, where the working fluid is separated from the combustion products. Non-combustion heat sources such as solar power and nuclear power or geothermal energy may be used. The ideal thermodynamic cycle used to analyze this is called the Rankine cycle. In this cycle, water is heated and transforms into steam within a boiler operating at a high pressure. When expanded through pistons or turbines, mechanical work is done. The reduced pressure steam is then exhausted to the atmosphere or condensed and pumped back into the boiler.
A little bit history of steam engines. Steam was used and possible only because of the chemical component that was made after the Big Bang, which is H2O. It's common knowledge that modern civilization was forged in the factories of Industrial Revolution, and these factories themselves were powered by the steam engine. Therefore, it is no exaggeration to say that steam engines ushered in the modern age.
After the chemical elements and the earth being created, which later had humans on the earth, which threshold came next? The Industrial Revolution. But what is the Industrial Revolution? To put it plainly, it is the era in which machines were being used to do work. This meant that people were not using animals to do labor work, or that they were using their hands as much to make things. They let the machines do it. Some machines, for example, were the spindle. So, in what year did the Industrial Revolution begin? It began in the 1750s in Europe, more specifically Britain. But Britain wasn't the only place to industrialize. The Industrial Revolution also had spread to other places such as North America. So what impact did the Industrial Revolution have? Well, if it was not for the Industrial Revolution, the steam engine would not have been created, and the steam engine was one of the most important machines being used during that time.
The steam engine was mostly used in the Industrial Revolution. However, it went through many different changes and phases and designs before people figured out what they wanted to do with it. Many of the first few designs included many different mechanisms that were made up of boilers and pumps that would help it fulfill its purpose in the future. Most of the designs remained the same, and soon the machine was given a purpose and a proper place in the revolution. That one purpose was to mine a special material located in dangerous mines across the U.S. That precious and special material was none other than coal. The machine was originally designed to pump the overflowing water out of the mines for the workers, and without it, many of them would have died. It dominated the industry for 150 years and was known as the miner's friend to many people when it was first used in the mines. However, that wasn't its only contribution to the world. It was the most dominant and popular power source during the Industrial Revolution. However, its popularity began to decline as other sources became available. Between 1897 and 1927, more than 60,000 steam cars were made in the U.S. The way the machine worked wasn't too complex nor complicated. It took in water through its pumps. Then after it was sent through the pumps, it was heated up in the boiler. After the water was heated up, it was then sent through a set of tubes that created steam and pumped them into the air. The engines first helped the miners that were digging up coal, then it began to help with transportation. The engine was now being used in cars, trains, and now steamboats. With the invention of the steamboats, America began to grow, and people had to travel across the seas with such boats. Without the boats' powerful engines, they would have not been able to keep up with all the trade and immigration now happening all over the world. The steam engine's creation led to many advancements in human lifestyle, transportation, and technology. Without the engines, America would have not developed as much as they did, and we could have ended up riding horses for many more years, as the engine helped develop a nationwide transportation system. The engine accelerated the advancements in general way of human life. Without them, we would not have cars or trains or be as far ahead in technology as we are today.